Alrighty then, my friends. Today, we're turning over a new leaf. The time has come. I'm done talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu.
What?
I know, it is sad, but we have to move on. I've said everything I need to about this film. I gave you my review, we broke down a few scenes, a few Easter eggs, we spent a long time breaking down the box office, and so today, we're moving forward to the future of Star Wars. We have some huge updates, notably about 2027 Star Wars Starfighter by Sean Levy. And I just want to say as a disclaimer, my friends, we will be diving into potential spoiler territory, so if you don't want to know anything about this film, you might want to turn away now. Check out some of my other videos. But otherwise, hey guys, hello, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your friend and your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, I'm over the moon that we have something positive to talk about, because everything concerning the Mandalorian and Grogu has been rather stigmatizing. The headlines, the box office, the discourse, it's all been pretty exhausting and far from a bed of roses. But at least today we get to talk about the one Star Wars movie I'm most excited about. This is the one Disney has to get right. This is the one they need to succeed. And today, my friends, we have some plot leaks and some character rumors. This isn't like the time that person claimed that Rey was going to be in it. This is someone who I would describe as a far more reliable source, someone who has a proven track record at this point, who's been correct about their Mando scoops, as well as information for Maul Shadow Lord and a couple of other projects. So based on their history, I think there's a solid chance this information is correct. And just a few hours ago, they posted some juicy information about the next Star Wars film. So let's dive in. Again, big spoiler warning. Let's begin with Mia Goth, one of the most anticipated actresses in this film. She is an icon of horror movies, has an incredibly unique voice, a great screen presence, and can be fantastically terrifying at times. Well, they confirmed the rumors that she is playing a Force sensitive who's on the dark side. And she's the only Darksider who wields a lightsaber in this film. And she is working for the character played by Matt Smith, who's described as an arms-dealing warlord, someone who apparently is infamous throughout the galaxy. And yes, she is on the hunt for Ryan Gosling's nephew, the character played by Flynn Grey. More on him in just a moment. But returning to Mia Goth, they say that while there have been various rumors stating that she's going to be playing a Sith cultist, those are false. Instead, she's more of a mercenary inspired by the characters of Baylan and Shin. She has her own agenda and her own plans, ones which may involve training the boy. Now there are two tidbits here we need to talk about. The first is what kind of Darkseid user is Mia Goth? Is she going down her own path? And where was she during the events of the sequel trilogy? She's far too young to have been alive during the fall of the Republic, so definitely not a survivor of Order 66. But she might have been one of Luke's students. Maybe she tried to follow in Kylo's footsteps and became a Knight of Ren. Or maybe she's part of a dark side movement we haven't seen in the Star Wars canon yet, something that's being introduced in this film for the very first time. And the second important tidbit is her mission. Why is she and Matt Smith's character so interested in Ryan Gosling's nephew? Is he part of an important bloodline? And could this relate to who his mother is? And speaking of her character, the rumors go on to say this. As for that certain someone, the rumors are true. His mother, played by Amy Adams, is Force sensitive. And so is he. This bit is pretty huge, they say. At the beginning of the film, she's killed, but in her dying moments, she gives her son her lightsaber and tells him to go find his uncle, who he's never met. These rumors don't specify the way Amy Adams' character dies, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was at the hands of the bad guys in this film. But the leaks go on to say that the kid is pretty smart. He manages to get off-world and does find his uncle in a cantina. This is Ryan Gosling's character, who sounds a lot like Han Solo, and they say he's a washed-up pilot and war hero, haunted by ghosts of his past. The two don't exactly get along at first, but in classic Star Wars fashion, I think you can imagine how this is gonna go. It's another father-son type duo. I mean, uncle and nephew, but you get the point. Two unlikely travelers who become best of friends and then father and son. But something to note about this part of the rumor is they mention that Ryan Gosling's character is a war hero. And I've seen people speculate this might be in reference to the Galactic Civil War, so the original trilogy with the rebellion, but age-wise, this wouldn't make any sense. He's far too young. So I reckon he was once part of the Resistance, someone who might have been in the background at the Battle of Exegol or Crate, and someone who probably knows Finn, Rey and Poe. And there must be a reason Amy Adams sends her son to him in her dying breath, and the fact that she herself is a Jedi makes things very interesting. Again, if we're talking about familiar characters who might have some connections to this film, she might have once known Luke, maybe as a student, or maybe as a lover. I know there are a lot of fans who want her to be the canon version of Mara Jade, but this new information is massive. It's a huge indication of where the story is headed, and I have to say, this mission, a Force-sensitive child with his uncle running away from dark-side users, sounds very similar to the original rumors. And we know for a fact, Sean Levy changed the ending. And this has sparked a lot of speculation. Some people think that maybe Rey was originally going to be in it, maybe that's who Ryan Gosling delivers his nephew to at the end. And then there are those who say, maybe they decided against Rey in the film. But whatever the case, and this goes back to the overarching problem with most Star Wars stories these days, it probably will eventually have to tie into the sequel characters, and what Simon Kinberg is doing for episodes 10, 11, and 12. It's this notion that all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. As long as those films exist, that's always going to cause problems for a lot of fans. But I'm not too sure Disney cares, because from their standpoint, even if those films sparked a lot of controversy, they made them a shed ton of money. And I'll be honest, I don't know how that's going to influence Starfighter. I'm hoping it's entirely a standalone, even if it's implied that the Resistance exists, that Rey did what she did at the Battle of Exegol. It'd be great to have something of a clean, post-Episode 9 slate. Just ease us in, back into this time period, with a fresh set of faces, new characters, and new villains. Mia Goth and Matt Smith are an amazing start. But a part of me thinks that based on some of these character descriptions, there will be some kind of connection to Luke. Because he's only been dead for a few years, there's a good chance some of these Force users were aware of him, or knew him personally, and I'm thinking for Mia Goth, some kind of connection to Kylo Ren. I'm happy with the evolution of characters, making connections that make sense, but in terms of literally bringing back someone like Rey, I think they should wait for episode 10. I've said it before and I'll say it again, in terms of the box office, Starfighter really is Disney's big Star Wars test. It is their Hail Mary. But everything I've heard so far about this movie sounds like a winning formula. You've got lightsaber fights, you've got the Force, you've got some incredible creatives, some of whom worked on Top Gun, so the cinematography is going to be amazing. And it was a seamless, smooth production, so I have a lot of hope. And, of course, it's coming out at the best time, the 50th anniversary of the franchise. And speaking of the origins of the franchise, my friends, I want to finish with a bit of fun. Some new photos to promote the upcoming Lucasfilm Museum of Narrative Art. And we have some really awesome pictures of George, and in this one, he is standing next to General Grievous. In the big year of 2026, my prequel heart is happy. But what do you guys think? What do you make of these latest updates? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to Starfighter? And how do you feel about these supposed rumors? And if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you, always.